And we're live.
Excellent. Hello world. Here is the pod layer proof of concept demo team for another one of our weekly experiments. We're going to follow our normal 3-act structure. Act 1 is the beginner portion where we go over the basic lexicon of terms used in the mojo reading methodology we use here. The main focus being taking the names of physiological cues and associating them with real world samples. And we usually do collaging for that purpose. And today we're working
on the 90s, and we are starting off with Flying Blind.
90s of the TV timeline. Okay, then Act 2, we'll get into the main portion, which is the weekly proof of concept experiment. We've had some samples to work on, 5 to 10 of them, and we have been using blind test protocols, so everyone's working on them on their own. We're going to see what the cohesion opinion is. And then the ones that were the most challenging, we'll spend some time reviewing. This week, these samples come from Let's Win Gobs. And then Act 3 is the advanced portion where we'll do a read live, and you can see how the team talks with each other. The kind of way they talk is the same mental chatter you'd be having yourself when you do mojo reading. So it kind of operates as a think tank of almost like a single brain, but now it's kind of blown out because you'll be hearing voices when you talk. I mean, when you're reading people. Of is it this, is it that? And that's what they'll be saying back and forth to each other. So you kind of hear that and know that's kind of mechanics of how mojo read is done. That sample will also come from Let's Win Gobs. Okay, introductions, and then we'll get into it. I am Nai G Coach.
I am Jaime Jali.
And I'm Zaini Demas.
I'm Nai G Ben.
You're muted, Infinity.
We'll go ahead.
Yeah, we'll go ahead.
Me, Shy Starglow.
Excellent. Okay, so let's go ahead and get to the collages. Charlene?
All right. I'll take us to the 90s TV pop culture timeline. And we are going to start off with Flying Blind. Can you guys see the screen right now?
Yes.
Perfect. All right, so protocols for this are in place with for everyone's first turn. We will call out a cue for that mojo, and then any time that a new mojo shows up for the first time. So
right.
Coach will start us off, and then we'll go round robin.
Cool. Flying Blind. This short-lived Fox sitcom featured Neil, a shy, repressed guy who meets the girl of his dreams, Alicia, who is gorgeous and wild. Amazingly, they begin to date, and the striking contrast between the personalities provides the basis for comedic tension. Neil's embarrassing family and Alicia's crazy roommates and friends play supporting roles.
Jaini Corey Parker as Neil Barash. As a Jaini, Jai, his first power, the cue associated with it is unaware emoting. So you'll see there's this emoting that it's more of an internal resonation. You'll also notice that the emoting which radiates from the mouth, it'll have more of an emphasis on the lower lip with Jai. And since he is a Jai Alpha, so Jai is his first power, the Jai will go up above the midline and the brim line of his face and all the way up into his eyes.
Nizi Te Leone. Okay, the Nizi are cerebral mojos, which means they're logic-based. So you will see their cheeks. You'll notice their cheeks have this natural lack of emoting to them, caused by kind of the localized emoting in their mouth. So in the case of the Nizi, it is Z, so you'll notice they have this anvil cheek quality. That does not go into the eyes, mind you. Okay, that's good.
Infinity, or it's a Ben. Ben is.
It's kind of lagging for me, but it just showed up. Nizi, Clea Lewis. Nizi was Jai and a Weremouth mentioned? I completely forgot. Demas mentioned
You mentioned
sheer cheeks. Okay.
Yeah, the
Yeah, logic-based, basically.
Thank you. So Nizi have Jai unaware emoting that goes all the way up to the midline, but no further. And I can really see it on the one on the left, especially. She's doing kind of a smile. But you can see it doesn't have the aware quality of it being outward and moving directly, connecting with its audience in an aware way.
Good.
We still can't hear you, Infinity.
Maybe, sorry, if needed, you might have to drop off the call and try coming back again, because it might be something on the sound on your end. Start
Okay.
this one in the meantime.
Sure. Jaini Marcus Giamani. As a Jaini, let's see, we mentioned Jai Alpha for Jaini. For they have Ni as their secondary power. You can see they have that open quality on their eyes, but it's still slightly diffused, not like a literal power, not like a literal perception power. So it's slightly diffused and not as much, but you can see it a little bit on the left picture more maybe with the dancing. They do have the Ni dancing. It's just more, it's even more diffused when Jai is their first power.
She's a little calmer.
Yeah, it's not quite as right up there in front, the Ni.
It's almost like they're dancing, but dancing to a song. It's like a little...
like a slow dance.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
Jaini
I like
Michael Tucci. Okay, you can see there on actually both of them the heavy Jai Modi in the lower lip and the unaware quality of it, the anticipatory quality.
Nizy Christine Rose.
Hat Squad. A cop and his wife adopt 3 young boys whose parents were cops and or killed in the line of duty. The 3 boys became the Hat Squad, part of the police department that tries to track down violent offenders while still wanting to avenge their parents' deaths.
Very complicated. Interesting.
Yes.
Ben, you're up.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit delayed when I'm up. It's just that the screen share is lagging, but the sound isn't. This is Vaiji, Don, Michael, Paul. Vaiji have Vi, woody, waxy, concerned eyes. It has a look to it that is very very steady, as opposed to Nai, for example, where it's more cunning. It's more like it's more cagey. So yeah.
Nizy, Nestor Serrano.
I think we're good, right?
Yeah.
We're good on Nizy, sorry.
Oh, no problem.
Baiji Billy Warlock.
Interesting.
By she in this show,
Yeah.
essentially. Nizy James Tolkien.
Nizai, Janet Carroll.
Nizai is new.
Okay. Let's see, I already covered logic based. Let's do something new. Let's do G. So the Nizai have aware mouth, but they also are logic based. So, like, take the left, for example, you're not going to see it go past those cheeks. So there's going to be this half moon Cheshire cat quality where their G kind of goes, like it fills just under the cheeks. Full, but it doesn't pass the cheeks.
There's black.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, my turn. This comedy slash variety show specialized in parodies of movies and television shows and commercials. Often they would also have a special guest, e.g. a TV actor, join them in the comedy sketches with hilarious results. And this is the Ben Stiller Show.
And Ben Stiller, Nizy Ben Stiller.
All right, Shiny Andy Dick.
Naiji Janine Garofalo. Naiji is new. She is an eye alpha, and Nai comes out in the eyes, so you'll see that the eyes have this cunning, sort of hunter-looking quality. They'll they'll rarely be caught unawares by a camera, and it looks cunning. So yeah.
Nizy Bob Odenkirk.
Ben.
Yep. It's delayed for me.
Ah.
The Young Indiana Jones Chronicles. The adventures of the archaeological treasure hunter in his youth. The now legendary, almost mythical character of Indiana Jones once had a childhood. Every episode starts out with the elderly man that he is in the 1990s getting into a specific situation where he has to tell a story from his past. The stories go back to when he was 10 years old and on a world tour with his father, and to his late teens when he fought in World War I.
And Jailene, before we go, I just have to share this with you. I met Sean Patrick Flannery at a Comic-Con, and he was such a kind, nice Genii. He was so wonderful to all of his fans.
I had
Always
a
liked
huge
him.
crush on him, so.
He was also in this, and of course, Boondocks.
Guys.
Yeah.
Genii Sean Patrick Flannery. Have we done Genii?
We have not.
No.
We have not. Okay. So they have Nye as their tandem powers, and so I'm seeing this this cunning look in his eyes, especially the one on the left. Also on the right, but more even on the left. This very strong cunning eyes.
Jaini George Hall.
Shiny Ronnie Couture.
Ooh, interesting.
Nizy Margaret Tyzak.
Lloyd Owen is pending.
Young Indiana.
One sec. Corey Carrier is pending.
Picket fences. An aging sheriff tries to keep the peace in a small town plagued by bizarre and violent crimes. Picket fences deals with life in a small town. In this case, the town of Rome, Wisconsin. It centers around the Brock family. Jimmy Brock is the sheriff of the town and likes to think he's the center of attention. His wife, Jill, is the town doctor. They have 3 children, Kimberly, 18, Matthew, 13, and Zachary, 10. A lot happens in this small town, from bizarre murders to rape, assault, drunk driving, kidnapping, and spontaneous human combustion. It seems that all the crimes... What do you say?
I said that's a happening little town.
Apparently so. It seems that all the crimes that have occurred in the whole of the United States have at one point or another happened in Rome, and they have to deal with it in their own quirky way. I guess so.
Yeah.
Nizy Tom Scarrett.
Shiny Kathy Baker.
Genii Costas Mandalore.
Nizy Lauren Holly.
George Holly, and then Nizai Holly Mary Combs.
Justin Shenkarau is pending.
Adam Wiley is pending.
Shiny Five-ish Finkel.
Nizy Ray Walston.
Kelly Connell is pending.
O'Connell.
It's coming.
Zenai Zelda Rubenstein. We haven't done Zenai yet, I don't think.
Have not.
Zenai have V, as their offside power, which gives their eyes kind of a clear-eyed quality as opposed to a quality of having neat dancing eyes. And it's also compared to Vi, whereas Vi gives it more of like a woody quality. V is more clear-eyed. I can really see that on the one on the right. Her eyes look very clear to me, very Vi compared to Vi and me.
Jaini Don Cheadle.
Martin! The random
Okay.
misadventures of Martin Payne, an abrasive loudmouth, though somewhat insecure Detroit talk show host, and his assortment of friends and enemies.
Nye Martin Lawrence.
Nizai Tisha Campbell Martin.
Inspirational!
Yo.
He's Thomas Michael. Or Michael? That was Michael.
Ford.
Ford.
Thomas Michael Ford.
We got another 3-namer coming up.
Oh, sweet. Nizai Carl Anthony Payne II. Cool name.
G-Vi Ticina Arnold. Has G-Vi been done?
No.
No. Let me see what really stands out here.
Is she perfect?
You know, all right. The offside power of G-Vi is knee, and I'm seeing sort of this dancing eyes quality in both of her pictures. Very much so. So yeah.
Nizai Garrett Morris.
Shiny John Cries.
Renegade. After crooked cop Lieutenant Dutch Dixon kills his girlfriend and frames him for murder, Reno Raines escapes from jail and goes on the run. Teaming up with Bobby Six Killer and Cheyenne Phillips, Reno works as a bounty hunter while searching for the only man who can clear his name.
Gina Lorenzo Lamas.
Reno Ray.
Gina Branscombe Richmond.
Bobby Six Killer.
Yeah.
Zaini Kathleen Kinmont. Have we done Zaini?
Have not.
We have not. Okay. The one thing that really stands out here, well, so what I'm noticing here is I see a lot of sheer cheeks that are coming from the Zai. So basically, the G basically expresses itself it doesn't articulate, it doesn't go very high, leaving sheer cheeks of Zai, and you really see this on the one on the left, the picture on the left.
Nice.
Stephen J. Cannell is pending.
Highlander.
Yes!
Duncan MacLeod is immortal and must live in modern society, concealing his true nature while fighting other immortals. That's what they do. Taken from the Highlander, Duncan MacLeod, clansman of Connor in the film, also find he is being stalked by not only other immortals trying to kill him before the time of the gathering, but also a secret society of mortals who call themselves the Watchers, and also seem intent on killing him, but the Watchers observe, record, and never interfere. Duncan and the other mortals can only be killed by decapitation and often live for centuries.
Duncan MacLeod of the Clan MacLeod. I love this show.
I'm going to talk about someone I had a massive crush on.
Never watched
Oh
it.
yeah, I can totally relate to that, Shailene.
Ian Paul as Duncan MacLeod.
It's pretty awesome.
Pretty sweet.
Stan Kirsch is pending.
And if Nijai.
Nijai, Jim Burns.
Dawson.
Jaini Alexandra Vandernoot.
Inspirational. Yay! Nizi, Lisa Howard. Also a paramour, but obviously not inspirational.
Nizi Peter Wingfield.
Nizi, Elizabeth Grayson.
The Larry Sanders Show, a comedic behind-the-scenes look at a late-night talk show. HBO television sitcom about Larry Sanders, a talk show host. This show goes behind the scenes to reveal Larry's numerous interactions with the producers and guests.
Ben, whenever you have it.
Nizi. All right, I've got it. Thank you. Nizi, Gary Shanley.
Nice.
Nizi Jeffrey Tambor.
Nizi, Wallace Langham.
Nizi Rip Torn.
The Nizi Fest.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That type of show.
Jaini Penny Johnson.
Gotta have the humanistic part in there.
True.
Najee Janine Garofalo.
They always pair that Jaini with the Nizi in the movies.
Yeah.
True.
Depending, yeah.
Nizai, Linda Duquette.
Nizai Scott Thompson.
Nizi, Jeremy Piven.
Nizai Catherine Harold.
Nizi, Mary Lynn. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. Nizi Mary Lynn Roscoe.
Nizi, Megan Gallagher.
Mary Lynn.
Oh, this is a good show.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Megan Gallagher.
Still
Mad about you.
Still, there we go.
Light television comedy featuring Paul and James Buckman. Buckman? I don't know how to
Buckman.
pronounce that.
Buckman.
Cool. As a recently married couple in New York City, they point out the gentle humor of domesticity and in the everyday situations of life. This sitcom is about the fairly ordinary daily lives of a young couple of New Yorkers, too nice for his own good filmmaker Paul Buckman and his assertive partner Jamie Stemple Buckman, who are almost constantly working up to, bickering and making up with each other and just about anybody else.
Yeah.
Notably his parents and siblings, her sister, their colleagues, friends, superintendent, and neighbors, psychotherapists, all kinds of staff, customers, officials, bystanders, etc. Even their dog Murray and his dog Barker.
That's pretty comprehensive. Nizi Paul Reiser as Paul Buckman.
And Nizi Helen Hunt as Jamie Buckman. Double directive.
Nizi John Pankow.
Brother. They got that right.
Nizi Leila Kenzel.
Nizi Ann Ramsey.
Hey, Mitchell.
That's nice.
Yeah.
My turn.
Yeah.
All right then, Nizi Cynthia Harris.
Nice catch. All right.
Combo breaker.
Johnny Lewis Zorich.
Melrose. Lives and living in Melrose Place in California, each with their own dreams and drives, the inevitable conflicts, conquests, and can you actually scroll up? Consummations ensue.
Sex.
Understatement. Thomas Calabro is bending.
Shiny Heather Locklear.
Nizi Andrew Shu.
Nizai Josie Bissett.
Jinai Doug Savant.
Josie Set. Doug's font. Nizai Courtney Thorne Smith.
Jinai Grant Show.
Vaiji Jack Wagner. Is this? No, we've had a Vaiji.
Yep.
Shiny Laura Layton.
Shiny Marsha Cross.
Shiny Daphne Zuniga.
Jinai Rob Estes.
Gina Rob Esty. Shiny Kelly Rutherford.
Return to Lonesome Dove. Captain Call has just buried Gus at Lonesome Dove and plans to head back to his ranch in Montana. Looking at a herd of wild Mustangs, he decides to drive them north with the help of Isom. Am I right about that? Isom and Gideon Walker. Gideon hires Agustina Vega and Mexican cowboys to run the Mustangs. Call leaves the drive for Nebraska and runs into Cherokee Jack and a group of Indians, which almost cost him his life. In Montana, Newt and Jasper get into a shootout in the local bar and wind up in jail. The odds of them surviving the lynch mob are slim until Dunnigan has them freed. Newt has rescued his wife Ferris from a band of cattle rustlers, and Dunnigan was thankful. However, Newt and Jasper will have to work for Dunnigan to keep their freedom. Newt has mixed emotions about working for Dunnigan, who helps him in any way, because he also has respect for Call, who may or may not be his true father. Dunnigan has big plans for his cattle and the future. Those plans do not include those who do not throw in with him, and the Hat Creek Cattle Company is not interested in Dunnigan. I feel like I know the whole plot.
AKA Days of Our Lives in the Ranch.
You can definitely tell
Yeah.
different writers from IMDb wrote different entries. And some are like, blah, happened. That's it.
Exactly.
Everyone's like, let me get into it. You know.
Right.
It's an excellent show, though.
Yeah.
Very well done.
Never saw it.
Nizy John Boyd.
Captain Woodrow F. Hall.
Shiny Barbara Hershey.
Genai Rich Schroeder.
Niji William Peterson.
Naiji Oliver Reed.
This guy.
Oh, gotta know he was a Genai.
Yeah.
Genai Dennis Haysbert.
That voice. Oh my goodness, that voice. Yeah, exactly. Butter.
Very true, actually, with him. Nijai Reese Witherspoon.
Shiny Timothy Scott.
Nizy Chris Cooper.
Genai CCH Pounder.
And butter for her, too. She's got a great voice.
Totally.
Nisha Nina Peoples. Or Nia Peoples.
Barry Tubbs Pending.
Nijai William Sanderson.
Jaime Veronica Lauren.
Nizy Louis Gossett Jr.
Ah.
Hmm.
Leon Singer is pending.
Jack Caffrey is pending.
Reginald T. Dorsey pending. Oh no!
Oh no.
Oh, oh.
Turned into art.
Okay. And close and open it back.
Come back and finish this up, and then we'll move on.
Yeah.
But it's like, can't go only partially. Must complete the ritual.
Yeah, makes sense.
Forehead was abducted by aliens.
It's like eyes, you're next.
Oh, okay. Shiny Dylan Baker.
That's it.
That's it.
Yay.
So now, all right, now we'll get into the Act 2 portion, which is the weekly quiz itself. Charlene?
And this week's quiz samples came from Let's Win Golf. Do you have the list right there?
Yeah, I did.
I'll read it if you don't mind. If I'll read out. I didn't do the quiz this week because I didn't have time.
Yes.
But,
And I'm still in the process of sitting it out until I want to canvas things a little bit better, so I'm going to go through the collages.
cool.
Time out.
Bear with me for a second here, guys. I'm gonna pull the samples. Alright. Okay. First sample is John Perry Barlow, an American poet and essayist and political activist. Starglow, what did you say for this one?
So I also want to mention it's been a stressful kind of week for me, so my lens may or may not be clear. But best I can do was a Nijai.
Nishai, alright.
Yeah.
How about you, Infinite?
Oh, I'm passing.
You
Yes,
passed.
Ben.
Sorry, my bad, Ben.
No problem, no problem.
I guess Niji for him.
I said Nijai.
I said Nijai.
So that would be it.
Okay. We'll have to review this one. I think he advised G, but I'd like to take a chance to check my
Oh,
work.
by G, wow.
That's, I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh,
that's
I
like-
did think I was seeing a lot of Vi. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I did see a lot of
I
vibes.
almost considered guessing Ziny. Weird. He reminded me of like Terrence McKenna a little bit, but
Is Larry Burgess, a French dancer, choreographer, and model who has an identical twin brother, together known as Le Twin. What did you say, Starglow?
Nijai.
Ben?
I guess Niji.
I guess Niji as well.
I said
Naiji.
Alright. Next one was Sarah Chang, an American classical violinist. What did you say, Starglow?
Nijai.
Ben?
I guess Nijai. Worried she might be Vijay though.
I guess Nijai as well.
Nijai.
I believe she's Vijay.
Oh shit.
Nijai.
That was a valid concern.
Very interesting.
Buster
Yeah,
instinct.
I was really
Yeah,
worried
it
about
was. Yeah.
Good
Right.
gather then.
Yeah. Ramsey Clark is the next one, American lawyer, activist, and former federal government official. Starglow, what'd you say for him?
Vizy.
Ben?
that. I guess Vaiji.
I said Vi Z.
YZ.
It's by Z.
Yay! At least I got one right.
Alright, and last one of the requisites is Glenn Greenwald, American lawyer, journalist, and author. What'd you say, Dracula?
Naiji.
Ben?
I guess Baiji.
I guess Baiji as well. Well, I consider Daishi.
I said Xenai.
Glenn Greenwald? Interesting. Yeah, what is it too? Flip-flop. This one I think is Nija, actually.
Oh.
Nija.
Wow.
Whoa.
Okay. He's the first one we've seen
Wow.
in the
All right. Optionals. Elaine Grimaud, French classical pianist. Did you guess on her struggle?
No, I didn't have any time for any of the optionals.
I didn't either.
I guess Nijai for her.
Skip, but come back to me later.
Okay.
She believes Naiji.
Yeah.
All right. Shruti Pascan. Would you say Mitchell?
Nijai.
Did you say on
Skip.
I believe she's Vijay.
Ah.
Theresa May, British Conservative politician, UK Home Secretary. What would you say for her, Mitchell?
Z9.
I said Xenai.
See what it is.
Okay. Wayne McGregor, British choreographer of contemporary modern dance. What would you say for
Naiji.
It's a Naiji.
Naiji?
Alrighty.
All right, and then last of the optionals, Laura Poitras, Academy Award-winning American documentary film director and producer. What did you say, Mitchell?
Naiji.
Did you guess?
Nijai.
Okay.
She was tricky. I think she's shiny.
Documentary.
I was like between the Nijes and I'm like, wait a minute. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. That's probably why.
Okay, so I guess we'll definitely take a look at John Perry Baldwin and Glenn Greenwald, those two.
Yeah.
So who got? Did anyone get John Perry Barlow as Vaiji?
No.
No. Okay. So Coach will lead this one.
I guess Naiji, but that's not.
Yeah,
the
that
answer.
you've been probably closer, but
I can explain what I was seeing with the mouth, I guess.
yeah.
Right.
I was seeing the amount
And I was
of
seeing the vibe, but
woody features. I
Yeah, I want to see
It doesn't
myself.
surprise me as much as you would think that he's a Vaiji.
Vaiji doesn't surprise me, but because I was seeing the vibe.
Yeah.
There's something off about him.
Maybe a
Yeah.
different interview.
Over the course of
please,
time,
Yeah. All right.
I have probably done about 20.
The links were fairly good shots. The
corporations.
links on the forum.
The idea of corporate responsibility
But yeah,
is
that
somewhat
jawline.
neglected,
Heavy drones, what I'm hearing.
especially in an era when those
Yeah, I'm hearing it too.
And there's something about Vi features. They just have this certain look to them.
whole
Yeah.
purpose of a
The
corporation
jawline.
Yeah.
Like the eyes and the way the face is set. It has like this look.
Records jaw a
And I
little
was seeing that.
folks
bit. Even Diaz a bit.
who believe that the whole purpose of a corporation
So that was one
is
that is that heavy
maximize
drone,
shareholder
and he's
value.
comfortable with
That's
articulating.
fine.
Because when I saw him, the first thing that struck
And
me
at least in the
was his
United
eyes,
States, and
which seemed to me
regardless
to
of
be
what fine
knee,
words,
knee with Vi.
spelling
But then
supposedly
after I looked longer, I'm like, no, I think he actually is
If he's not
Vi with lots of
maximizing
knee.
shareholder value, they'll
Yeah, to be a
punch
poet, I would
Yeah.
probably
It's
good need
the way he's
development.
speaking here.
Yeah, I think like the poet thing kind of
you, on the
swayed me a
other-
little bit. I mean, Baiji wasn't really something I immediately
Ben, it got me too, exactly. That's exactly what it was.
Well,
Like, I was
and-
trying to reconcile that.
That's a lot
Because
of
I mean,
stuff.
I
He's a
did
counterculture,
Niijai
too.
first too, but I moved to Naiji just because it almost seemed more like
Definitely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and that's
That
why
makes
I
a
went
lot
the Nijai, because of that
Mhm.
whole thing.
Right.
Plus, I could see the and the Vi. I just wasn't accounting for.
Yeah, if you flip it around, you're at Nijai. So I see what you're saying.
This is a good quiz, though. It's kind of
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's tricky.
this is
Mind
pretty
expanding.
common.
He has lots of but we
Yeah.
I did find him tricky. Like, even though I guessed Nijai, it wasn't like one I was super confident on.
No.
So it's like,
he's
Yeah.
comfortable looking, and when he juts, did these like right there, he's a quick little
has a very limited sense of the
Sharp
future.
guts.
Most companies don't.
And
live as long
when
as human
he
beings, they see nothing.
speaks,
He's aware.
he's aware and
Especially
he
now,
speaks things as
it's
givens.
focused on immediate returns.
Even these guys
Yeah.
with articulation don't tend to be as comfortable. Not only is he doing it a lot, he gains momentum. Every time he basically states something as a given, it's strong.
Context for
He feels strong doing
a
that.
great many things are
Yeah, and I'm seeing not a pure bobble anymore. I'm seeing it's a jut bobble, like a on-point
So
bobble.
are you saying that stating things as given, that's like a Vi thing?
Yeah, that's what it
Okay.
sounds like.
He gets going.
more even in the presence of the
That makes sense.
I think at some point we're going to have to start recognizing that there are no externalities.
And that drone has not dropped
That
yet.
the whole notion of
Every
externalities
word,
Right.
middle
It's like
word,
steady.
linking the words all
and
constant.
everything comes from here.
Interesting.
And he very much has that professorial teacher directive thing now. I'm seeing.
Eyebrows was like, you know. Cool. All right, now let's take a look at the other one, which you guys are going the other way on.
Yeah.
I believe-
I think I literally wrote in my description I'm seeing Vi eyes, but he looks like his eyes are kind of.
Yeah, he looked weird to me. He looked weird to me too. I guess 5G, but there was something about him that seemed more similar to me, and I think what I was noticing, but I didn't think Naiji made sense, and I think what I was noticing was just that he's like a Najez,
Wow.
Yeah.
but
Good speaker.
doing like a lawyer sort of thing, which is something we see Nijai do. I saw values based too. I saw the expression going up.
So lots of energy in the lower lip.
Because every time I have time, the ability to travel.
And he's got a twinkle in his eye.
And then in 2005, I had pretty much decided that
Either way, he's moving here.
other than law, I wanted to just kind of figure out what to do with my life. And
More
so I
balance.
rented an apartment
Letting us
here
know before
for
leave.
7 weeks.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Talk about it. He goes, so that's 7 weeks. That 7 weeks was an assertion. Did you see how he almost blinked away from the assertion? Adapters naturally, when they make assertions, either with their voice or with their fingers, they tend to break the line of it.
Literally.
He did with his eyes. When he made an assertion, he looked away.
I also just saw Gumby.
Yep.
I saw warm Gumby.
And there's a heaviness in his tongue. That the amount of jive.
Oh yeah, I see it now.
Yeah.
Oh.
Makes a lot of sense, actually.
What they wanted to.
But he's very.
Yeah, and he's not touching his head or his hair like directive. It's
Do the reporting, how to do the reporting. And so taking my partner.
And I'll hear the jai in between the words. People, you know, blah, 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 blah. He kind of like goes blah, blah, blah with the Z, but there's always this verbal of jai under it, and the jai keeps coming up in between the words.
Get it, Glenn.
and he's got those noticeable jai things where the face squinches. It doesn't show much on here, but now that I realize what I'm looking at, I can see those. It's like a thing
tell.
where you can tell the jai has come up and stopped and been almost like squished up to his eyes, but it won't go up.
I could totally see it in him.
Just how
It's cool, cheap quality.
what it is feeling and showed why they can't be trusted to exercise power without transparency.
So who are we reading?
We're just going over the
Samples.
Going over Glenn Greenwald.
Yeah, so
Glenn, hey.
quick. So John Perry Barlow, Levi.
You want me to just post it in the chat?
Oh yeah, that'd be a lot easier.
I have to type it all up, so I think, and unless somebody already has it all typed up.
Yep, if someone does, that'd be great.
Yeah, that'd
I'm
be
sure
great.
someone does. I mean,
I'm out on the post
I
tomorrow.
don't. I
Yeah.
don't, unfortunately.
Yeah, so this is short term. So John Perry Barlow, Vaiji, Larry Burgess, Naji, Sarah Chang, Vijay, Ramsey Clark, Vizi, Glenn Greenwald, Nijai. Optionals, Elaine Rameau, Naiji, Shruti Hassan, Vijay, Teresa May, Zinai, Wayne McGregor, Naiji, and Laura Poitras, Jaini.
Sorry, what was Shruti again?
Shruti Vijay.
Oh, okay. I thought you said Nisha the second time. I thought she was. But...
Yeah.
Vijay with okay, so literal.
Yeah, literal. I think she said Nisha.
Yeah, pretty good. Are we good on this one? Do you want to do some more, or are we good on him?
I think I'm good on him, I think.
We can move on.
I think I see it. Yeah, I see where I went wrong.
I believe Sarah Chang.
Yeah, definitely.
Most people were guessing, I think, interpretive on her. Yeah. I think she had good use for an eye, but the eyes, I believe, are that clear look.
Yeah, I wanted to guess Naiji. I was again with like the Nijez thing on her. I don't know why. I'm too quick to assume that. I think.
And she's a Vijay, right?
Yeah.
Vijay.
Okay.
Did anybody get her correct?
No. So what we're looking for here is see you guys.
I don't think so, Glenn.
You're right here. Clear.
I did right.
Yeah. I see.
Then you should take
I
lead if
see.
you come. If you
Clearer and flatter.
And Infinity and I didn't do the quiz this week.
Oh, okay.
Eileen was working on the 4 ebooks all the way up the wire here. Just a little more left to go in a couple more days.
Yeah.
Great work, Charlene.
Thanks, Starglow, for putting those.
So
Right here, this freeze frame, I could see. I mean, that's pretty much what I read. Classic. I think we all saw Jez Gather. So the ample cheeks, but the heavy shine moaning overtakes them, but does not go into the eyes. Eyes are the big peepers drinking in as a gatherer, but those clear and flat. So keep paying attention.
Yeah, she also has those Vijay lips.
Yeah, the lips have a little bit of intention to them. You're right.
It's the very first place where I played in.
Yeah, she has big lips.
And you see when she pops her eyes out there, like the jut, it's clear, clear, clear.
So,
One of the riffs that helped me actually was a music artist, Michelle Branch. I'm not sure if anybody's aware.
Yeah, good call.
Yes. Yeah.
What did you guess on her?
I guessed Vijay.
yeah, he guessed the right answer.
Megan, help out. That was great insight there. If you got anything else, go ahead and point it out too. I didn't realize someone actually got that one. Cool.
Excellent, excellent riff.
I had it since I was about 14 years
Wow.
And I took one look at that case and I'm like, that's a gatherer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I saw Jez Gather like immediately. Those cheeks are Jez Gather cheeks. It's like.
Yeah, definitely.
Totally.
Oh my God. Yep.
You have like this like filling up with water look in the shy.
Yes, very
It's, like,
much
just-
so.
Yeah.
And she has this kind of like light touch of like way of moving her body and stuff like that Jez Gathers have.
There's also this wariness that you could see in her eyes. There's like sort of darker kind of look in the eyes. I don't know. I kind of associated that with the Nai and also V actually. The V has more of a yang quality, literal. It's very different from the knee. The knee looks very magical in a way. It looks more
soft.
You know what I mean? This one seemed more
Boom.
solid. Yeah.
because every piece on the program is a jewel. And
Yeah, and I'm seeing the more clear V now too, rather than
And
the
the skin,
diffuse
you
V.
can tell it doesn't have that same Gumby quality, that warm Gumby. It's more warm, glossy,
Yeah, it's not squishy.
or fleshy.
Right.
Yeah, those hands are
the
fleshy.
center
Interesting.
of the recital is going to be Christopher Theophany's disease. He
Her
was
face also looks pretty fleshy.
he is
Very much so.
Your
the youngest.
attention to the V knee
He wrote a
adapters.
concerto for me.
I also, yeah,
In 2008.
I can see detaching in the,
Yeah.
you know, like she's doing Jai, but I also see
Gorgeous
like
concerto.
that looks
A lot of work.
and we're not just saying that. So
It's a technical nightmare,
movement.
but
She also has
so
got
much fun
slinky.
to play.
yeah,
To
The
shimmy.
first
Yeah,
one-
slinky to it. Also.
Yeah.
So there's more of a shimmy to the bobble. I mean, instead of a bobble, because of the nigh.
That's for sure. But since she has good nigh development, her shimmy has a good amount of nigh slinky to it.
yeah, shimmy swing.
Ah.
But with Chris, it was from the get-go, from the beginning to the end. There
Yeah,
were
she doesn't seem very dreamy to me.
Yeah.
So it still has that kind of wiggly quality that all the gatherers have, but it's a bit more, sinuous, undulating to
Yeah.
that
wiggliness.
wiggliness.
And just a lot of like late night phone calls and a lot of all
It's
that.
one of those situations where like her good game and like I was seeing these cues of Vijay more, but her good game and like the fact that the way she was talking about like music, how passionate she was about all that, kind of like swayed me enough to not guess on the answer that I should have guessed on.
New piece, but contemporary composer who's written it specifically for you, is really exciting because first of all, nobody's played it before, which also means that you have zero.
Are we good on her?
Records.
Yeah, I do seem to have a lot of like musical gifts though. Like she's known as like a child prodigy or something like that.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
It's very strong. I think the guys would be as well if it was more
accepted. Yeah.
But yeah, they definitely seem to be powerhouses there.
Vijay do more than. I mean, Vijay I think have shown up music more than Vijay have.
Yeah, pop music always.
I think Vijay female it's probably the Naiji and Vijay as far as the most prevalent. So yeah.
I mean, Vijay's have their own talents, but and they're quite good at music, but
exactly.
We have a little more time left on this portion. I was thinking about the other two requisites. I think most people got that. For the optionals, one that I don't think a lot of people did it, but it was an interesting one. I think I'd like to look at her just because it was unusual, but I think it could be cool. I believe Laura Poitros is a Jaini, but she has a game that one would kind of associate a lot with the Naiji. But I think the fact that she was taking on a case where she had to gain as a documentarian, I think it's probably Nijai also excel in this regard. But Jaini might even be better at this particular, taking it to this extreme, basically gaining the trust of the subjects. So you're allowed to film them in the intimacy of their actual everyday lives.
Yeah.
Those private special moments. So I think probably both the Admirals, I know the Nijai were heavy in documentaries, but I think we're seeing some Jaini as well, probably for that reason. Anyway, let's take a look at her.
Makes a lot of sense, actually.
Interesting.
Sure. Yeah.
She did this very well, but I do believe there's that heaviness in the voice, and I think she has the looseness in the hands.
Yeah, you can see it right there. She looks,
yeah.
I guess Nice Junior, but yeah, there was actually kind of.
Did anybody get her correct as Jaini?
No.
Okay, I did, by the way.
Oh, did you?
Wow,
Yes,
damn,
Good
nice.
job.
Nice.
Nice game today.
Go ahead and lead.
Okay, so I was really having a hard time with her as well as Sarah, ironically, and I was expecting to get them both wrong, but thing is, I noticed a lot with her knee. She does have a lot of knee development, but it's very frantic. I mean, I was noticing the way that she was doing the interviews with like Bill Mayer and some other people. There was this, energy about her that seemed very much like me was not. It's not. It didn't look like the knee of a knee Jai, which would be a lot more. They would be a lot more cool. Where there would be the permeability. It seemed very much like, it was a little bit more difficult for her to do because it's an objective power, and it's harder for her to control maybe the
comfort level
information that
with
she
me.
gathers. I think something like that. And
Yeah,
then the
the comfort
emoting
level.
when she smiled in the pictures, I saw it go all the way up into her eyes. Even though her eyes do kind of like pop out in some pictures, I think that's mostly just a lot of strong Vi development and some me as well. So
Yeah. And she has a calming energy, not the satisfaction. If you can see that.
yeah.
We would set parameters and get a conversation about what the shooting would look like. I mean, I started filming, really quickly.
You can see why she could gain the trust of her
her
subjects. She has a safe sort of energy.
Yeah.
And I wanted to film that first and foremost. It was my instinct to film it. I never done it for a long time, so I know, the feeling of being the other things and I just want to flow with them. And so
So not as much bobble.
by his demeanor.
Yeah, she's more held, more refrained.
Yeah, I mean, he was incredibly articulate. And it's not just that we've edited the film to
Oh, that little soft shrug reminds me of Jolene does that sometimes.
unless
Sure.
Yeah, you can also note the unifield face.
and whether or not he took the risk.
And that's the unaware mouth of a Jaini right there, not a Nijai.
Questions he's going in the shadows. These are probably.
I think the ones
Go back home. Learn what's
the one for me, the one that I saw sub mom right away, but then I had distinguish it because she has a very good way of sort of keeping her poise and articulating her points and everything.
Given the fact that we
Yeah,
were,
but that classic with Jaini, you saw that little bit of action in her mouth, and yet her whole face totally shifted. Every time she looked, it's right there. You see it, little things in the mouth, and you see the eyes. Only the Shy Alpha, they were that much responsiveness. I guess the G Alpha in their way, the Jez Alpha, that much responsiveness between a little bit of action in the mouth area, and then the face, even doesn't move much, it quickly takes, right there, see? She didn't move much, but there's a lot of tone in the eye, and the eye tone matches the mouth tone.
we know from, documents by Snowden reported on that our phones can be switched to microphones. It happens, and I'm a journalist.
The quality Shiny actors and actresses I've heard her mention about them is their great ability to be present. I think it's a part of it right there. I've heard them mentioned before by several Naiji actors who were in awe of that power. I know they're talking about, for example, Meryl Streep talking about Kazale, also in Once Were Warriors. Tamora Morrison was talking about the Johnny plays the wife in the role, like her ability to be there emotionally, subtly or full tilt, but just to be present the whole time, not take breaks. Kind of like emotionally, to not take a break from the scene, to just be emotionally there through the whole ride.
Yeah, and Jaini have this awesome quality of being able to hold the space, to reserve the space for someone else to speak. It's an awesome quality that I very much admire.
It could always possess in two shopping bags.
Are we good on her?
It looks incredibly vulnerable.
What do you think, guys? Are you good on her?
Somebody who suffered.
Yeah.
I'm good.
I mean, that was a really...
Is there anything else we want to look at before we go into the library?
Does anyone have anything in particular that they want to take a look at?
I think we looked at all the ones that I was curious about.
Did we already do John Perry?
We did.
If so, that's fine. We don't need to do him.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go ahead and get to Act 3, the live read. So, Charlene Demas, go ahead, just pick one.
All right. From the list, we already did this twin brother, the other twin brother. This quiz will skip him. Maybe, looks like, let's see if the bear enthusiast and documentary filmmaker has enough.
Bear enthusiast. Sounds cool.
Timothy Treadwell. Oh, is that who they did that?
Oh, it's that guy.
No, okay, so we're not going to do this.
He's holding that guy.
Okay. It was.
I realize who it is now. Yeah.
Okay, Svetlana, a prima ballerina. Let's see. Where are you going? Original ballers. Okay. I believe we have enough.
Okay.
Let's see. This is Svetlana Zakharova, who is a prima ballerina with the Bolshoi Ballet and La Scala Theater Ballet. So ready to...
Ooh, more ballet bubble, yay.
Okay, let me see if I can load the video. Scrabbling. There's the link.
В нашем театре Чайковского «Прим балерин» в La Scala и Гранд Опере этот титул «Прим балерин» у нас, у них называется вуаль. Выше перемещение.
Difficulty modifier.
What's the difficulty modifier? Which one? What's the issue?
It's another language.
Different language.
Well,
Got it.
That's the second issue. The first issue is trying to find an interview.
Okay, it's more.
Yeah, I think an interview might be useful.
Yeah.
Oh, you gotta have an interview. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously. Let's see. Okay, how about this one?
Unless we're gonna Mojo it off of her dancing.
think it's hard enough as it is. Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hard. That's really difficult
That's
modifier.
like,
Oh, that would be an
Pretty cool,
interesting
though.
topic to explore.
that's like an
That is
extra
an interesting
trick shot.
topic
That's
to
like,
explore.
Yeah, I mean, different mojos walk and move in a different way. They have different energy.
much less to
But
work
on
with.
its own, that's
Yeah, with their cues, it'd be interesting to see how that influences things.
Yeah.
the lighting isn't so good in this one, but
the, and I think another challenging.
And she's so kind to agree to it.
We don't really know who's who.
She's on the left.
her eyes look like black
She's on
holes.
the
but
with the tiara.
I think she's the one with the tiara.
Yeah, this
No, she's on the left.
One on the left, really.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Fooled me.
And she's just performed here in the light there. And she's so kind to agree to it. Hello, thank you. Could you tell me why you started to that? Because I knew my mama. When she was very young, she was her dream. But her parents would.
She has poise, but that wouldn't be unusual for a ballerina.
No, even like even the Nijai ballerinas, the Vi is very strong because of they have that poise. They hold that.
She has long.
She kind of looks like.
And in fact, of the ballerinas we have, I believe most of them are Nishai.
Yeah.
Towards Tower or Chess Hunter.
I didn't know that.
Doesn't she kind of remind you of Sansa Stark?
That's what I was gonna say. I mean, in the first second, that's what I initially thought, but I wanted to hold back on that.
I thought I saw emoting in the cheeks, like when she did emote.
Competition, I started studying.
I saw Sansa, but whether she riffs like Sansa, I don't know.
it's hard for me to really.
Yeah, definitely.
Like ballerina.
That one. Just me.
This one, maybe.
After 1 year, you were
That one. Okay,
Yes.
that one. Yeah, this light's
So
good.
from the beginning, they put you.
Focus.
Oh my gosh.
I haven't gotten quite into Game of Thrones yet. Remind me, Sansa Stark is
Nizai.
what?
Nizai.
Nizai.
I'm not saying anything about the mojo, but I'm just saying, like, there seems to be some kind of resemblance there.
Событие.
Full agreement with you.
Быстро.
Okay.
That's good. That's good.
Потому что ты
There we go.
на сцене, что ты уже там, и еще вот есть это маленькое чудо.
Since going to cheeks to me.
What is her name?
Svetlana.
Zakharova.
So graceful.
Yeah.
Я
Okay.
знаю, знаю, наверное, лучше, чем что-то. Конечно, хочется.
Not the best of work. I got the read, but you guys think it's too
You
hard.
have the read. Wow.
Oh, cool.
You know,
Good
this
job.
reminds me of
Good job.
Искусство. То, к чему я стремилась с 10 лет, то, что я знаю, наверное, лучше, чем что-то другое. Правда,
Interesting.
Государственную Думе быть депутатом ничего.
That emoting goes pretty high, I think.
Другая жизнь, другая профессия. Встреча с чиновниками на другом уровне. Не на уровне, пожалуйста, приходите к нам так, или я буду вас рада видеть.
There's some quite a bit of jutting there,
Большое,
and
вам понравится.
it seems
Это
warm.
разговор
How far up does the emotiveness go?
I think
I feel like it's not. You see it going up.
профессия балерины.
I
Okay.
definitely see it going up.
I think
Okay.
it's going up too.
Я так соскучилась по сцене, я так соскучилась по репетиционным залам, по вот этому ощущению, по запаху, по состоянию. Точкой 17 лет. Поэтому это не редакции, от которых Жозе очень много.
He's good.
Я его танцевала со многих
Yeah.
театрах.
Got some skills.
Я его ласкала, партнерами, которые давали мне какие-то
This articulation, she's not.
от которых я потом
There doesn't seem to be emoting on the articulation, I'm thinking.
I seem to see it emoting on the articulation.
не выходит, но я возьму чем-то другим. У меня была задача
I see her holding on the right. She's holding her emotion when she goes on the right.
разных состояния на сцене.
I'm not sure yet. I don't know.
Хотелось показать
That's what I'm saying.
эту хрупкость, беззащитность сегодняшнего мира. Это не был какой-то определенный
So,
герой,
I'm
героиня.
thinking values-based, so that's about as far as I can get right now still.
Редактор в каком-то состоянии, нежели добро.
I don't know. I feel like I'm getting a poise from her.
Well, that's not, yeah, but that's not, that makes no statement on a ballerina, a prima ballerina, because she's going to have
That's
poise.
true. What do you mean by poise exactly? I want to follow up with that. What, when you define poise,
Poise generally refers, in this context with mode reading, to the use of a worldview map power in someone's overall bearing.
Interesting.
All directives, it affects their movement. They have more tension in them, as all adapters have less tension. And
right.
It seems accentuated in the gatherers have a very kind of like loose wiggliness to them, whereas the all the hunters, either Vi or Nai, there's like a tenseness to it. But as Starglow was mentioning, also certain professions, they'll have that regardless. For example, dance, because you are kind of holding yourself and moving yourself on a point, you'll take that on. So this sample, I'm saying what this person is, but to answer Anthony's question, poise usually means, just like when you use a lot of strong Vi or Nai in your speaking, it gives your words
deliberate.
Like you know where you're placing everything. It also the body carriage also has that. I know where I'm placing everything.
It gives it like weight.
Right.
Weight,
So,
but also tension of like I know where I'm putting that weight.
Right. So, but if you ever seen like even Nijai ballerinas, they walk with that tension. They move with that
Very
tension.
much so. Very much.
Even though they're adaptive mojos.
Yeah, altered states.
Первое время я вокруг да около ходила, я
That one
боялась,
above the midline.
потому что я боялась увидеть что-то.
I think I'm leaning towards sub-rom right now.
Когда я
Yeah, I think so too.
зал,
Oh,
She seems
какая-то сцена, я поняла, что
converging to something that's.
когда
No, I think I'm leaning more towards Nejez, but
счастье,
I'm leaning on Nijez.
это не пустые слова, действительно
but I
состояние
respect that, you know, Ben saying shiny.
убегает
just
и
the way
перед
her
тобой
hips
огромная
and
сцена, которая
kind of reminds me of
действительно
them seeing
приятно
her hips.
занимать, танцевать,
Religions
очень
are
удобно,
longer than I would see with them. Of course, I could be wrong, but
феерит.
that's kind of where I'm at right now. Let's see if we have more talking.
Я тоже являюсь их. Я чувствую и ощущаю себя прежде всего балериной Большого театра. Но также я являюсь и балериной театра Ласкала. На таких же, скажем так, условиях, то есть официально я тоже являюсь их. Но все-таки, прежде всего я ощущаю себя русской балериной. Западная школа очень много на меня повлияла. Знаете, я такая, наверное, всегда ученица, которая ищет, которая находится в поиске, и я не стесняюсь спрашивать, и я не обижаюсь, когда мне
That was
говорят,
like a very tense way. She's
вот это для
Yeah,
меня
she always
секрет
has, she has a very, also very like,
даже если я где-то
That doesn't look
besides the
good.
poise, she has a
пошёлная на
controlled and
готовке,
measured way of
со мной
articulating
был
that.
обязательно репетитор.
It's
Я
very,
со стороны
to me, it's very
профессиональный
almost
взгляд,
hunter.
Yeah.
человек безжалостно порой говорит тебе все зло, несмотря на то, что у тебя такая звезда, ты такая, вот, весь мир перед твоими ногами, весь гонор, ты можешь это показывать.
I'm leaning more, although I'm still tossing between Nijez. I can see what y'all are seeing in that she places, even when she tossed her hand out a little while ago, she placed it rather than it tossing.
Yeah, I was considering Shiny because of, like, with the poise, Shiny have more poise than Nijai, for example. Yet you still see Ni and Shai. But I'm not sure that that's actually what I'm thinking. It's just a possibility.
I haven't seen emoting going into her eyes yet.
That does look nice, doesn't it?
She kind of looks a bit like Audrey Hepburn in a way.
Yeah, reminds me of Audrey Hepburn. So,
Her energy doesn't
Who's
seem as...
Nijai?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's...
I think they have an interview here.
Well, that's what I was saying about not to fall.
Sorry.
Sorry, not to fall into that trap of, for ballerinas specifically, that poise is extremely well developed, even if they're adaptive. Their worldview power, because of that, is extremely well developed.
And I think we might have a...
Yes, that's true. But I feel like even with Nijai, they're still going to be using poise in an altered way. So I'm trying to figure out whether or not the poise is momentum versus altered state.
This could be a good
but
one.
I'm just saying it's really difficult to differentiate that particular piece for ballerinas.
Right. It can
whether
be,
it's, whether it's altered or not, specifically for ballerinas.
She has an easy time. Yeah.
That being said, I am slightly leaning on the directive end of Nijez.
So,
еще даже сезон полностью первым поработала в «Маленьком театре». Это было, конечно же, огромным испытанием для меня, но такая, наверное, детская наивность и желание доказать.
Yeah, I think I'm leaning more towards Nijez now. That makes sense. But a little more towards Naiji.
yeah, easy articulation is jumping out to me here with this interview.
And more in a monologue style.
Yeah,
I think.
And her, she keeps her wrist straight.
Firmly
Straight in one line.
Yeah.
And more tension.
And it does kind of, like I was saying, the when 90s do the thing where their hands are poised together, but they keep doing pokes.
Yeah.
Like really quick.
Даже не ритуал, а потребность, я отменяю себя в и так. Конечно, когда я танцую премьеру, это гораздо больше волнения и в сравнении с тем, если я танцую много раз тот или иной спектакль, и гораздо легче. И ты понимаешь, как вести себя на сцене, знаешь, что нужно отдохнуть, что нужно наоборот собрать все свои силы. Когда танцуешь премьеру, это дополнительное волнение, которое я не люблю, оно ненужное такое волнение, когда не знаешь, чего ждать.
Yeah, especially when I look at like certain pictures, it doesn't look like that would be a Nijai. But I guess she could be a very, very serious Nijai, which, I mean, are out there.
Yeah.
I mean, if that was the case, I am still leaning more towards Naiji.
Yeah, evidence to it so far. I haven't seen Gumby, I haven't seen Bobble or Dancing Eyes or Unaware emoting come with her at all so far.
Yeah.
That's keeping me from, and the tensioning. I haven't seen her loosen up because I think even a poised Nijai at some point would break. Like,
yeah. Well, yeah, usually that does happen. That is true.
Yeah. Also, her body, like,
Probably doesn't look like that of a Nijai. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like I thought it was
and like,
gummies.
The way she holds her body.
the way she and the structure of her
And
body.
just the look of it, yeah.
I think the way she holds her body seems like has tension in it. Seems
Kind of like
some warm wizardly. I don't know.
because there's a pattern like throughout the body structure itself that you see.
Yeah, that's.
She's got less energy that makes me think that she's approachable. That's the word. She doesn't.
Yeah.
She doesn't. It's like she's aware that she's attempting not to set boundaries with her body so much.
She's trying to be more approachable. It's altered, right?
Right.
It's altered.
But it's still
I feel like she sets boundaries with her eyes.
Approachable. Yeah,
Yeah.
even with her body though, she keeps it so like.
It's this.
That's a form of boundary.
It is,
itself.
yeah.
That exactly. Thank you, Jolene. That's a perfect description.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I think we might have one here. I'm not sure.
Несколько хореографических копий и многих других программ пригласила зрителей на творчество.
It's like the tension is a form of boundary setting just by being still.
Okay, yeah. She has full makeup on here, but at about.
And stage makeup, which is difficult.
Yeah, it's about 2 minutes in.
Поддержку своих коллег и публики. И публика поверит, любовь бывает на разрыв, безнадежная, тщательные костюмы, нет времени. Светлана даже
Наверняка она здесь, она тоже и...
минутные овации.
There's our bad boy.
Танцует 3 номера. Влюбилась в меня, как педагог Светланы, в группе поддержки. Тебя всегда в этом дивертисменте только друзья. Владимир Малахов, чина, до сих пор.
К ней очень аккуратно относиться.
Фотографии Светлана Захарова в богемный Париж за этот номер на... Йохан Ковард, солист Ковенга.
So you do. You might have this one.
Yeah, I'm thinking her eyes don't look dancing.
Yeah, they look.
I try to be.
They
Like,
look more dissatisfied.
And rather intense.
Like I'm looking at this image and trying to see the Nijai in that. It doesn't look like that at all, really. Like,
Everyone, so that I can enjoy on one hand. This transformation.
She seems to be kind of sly in a way too.
My mother dreamt of being a ballerina, but as she was an only child, her parents wouldn't let her
This is
move
not
to
her
a city to
voice.
study,
Stop.
and all her
You can
life
see
she
her
has
proper
regretted it.
articulation.
Yeah.
this looks like such high quality footage.
In for an audition at the Kiev Ballet School, and from that moment on, my life changed.
Yeah, there are several difficulty modifiers here.
Such great stuff.
144p, we meet again.
I did not miss a single class. I walked around just touching them. I did not
The
miss a
jawline
single
reminds me of
class,
Banks.
irrespective of the fact
Yeah.
I have pain in my leg or in my back.
Yeah, those hands, they remind me of that one Naiji that we read last time, that we thought was Zaini.
Strange. All the time I was crying and I wanted to go
Yeah.
home.
Yeah. I kind of see where you're going
Like-
with that.
First of all,
Like trying to show adaptiveness when she doesn't, when it's not her momentum power.
diet.
Right.
I practice a huge number of hours a day. I remember preparing for Cinderella. I coming at 10 o'clock in the morning and leave at 10 o'clock at night. Whole day we have. All ballets are saturated with big technique.
Oh.
Part of an artist is not controlling the technique into a sport, but to perfect what point where you are no longer thinking and can instead convey emotion and be really hero on stage. Because a dance is all about emotions, and the audience comes to be enchanted.
I'm just reminded of Natalie Portman's role in Black Swan.
I am too.
Oh,
Yeah.
And the way she
Well,
moves,
that's obvious.
moves is
I was
so
reminded of
solid hunter,
Yeah.
you know?
But
That
Russian,
long lean line that all moves together
Yeah.
in their
Yeah.
hips.
when I was 13, 14, my
It's like
peers were
liquid
going to
hunter.
discos, the
Yeah.
military territory for us.
Yeah.
So you do see the solidarity of it.
Is
you know?
not just a
Yeah.
profession for me, it is my life. And that is why when people ask me that I sacrifice many things, I cannot understand what I sacrifice.
there's also Natalie Portman too. Or no, that's from Black Swan.
Secret rhythms.
The one from
Yeah.
Oh,
I'll let you get some like
Keira Knightley, maybe a little bit.
broken rhythm swaggery way.
silly question. What's Barishnikov's mojo?
Naiji.
IG. Okay.
And that's I was fixing to say that her style of movement reminds me more of Barishnikov than it does the other prima ballerina we had last week.
Savor this joyous moment.
Makes a ton of sense.
Throughout the performance, all my emotions and strengths I give to the audience. And at the end, they return all to me. In our profession, this moment is probably the most important.
Still see her eyes even when she smiles.
Yeah, that looks like a
the
sigh.
face definitely doesn't squinch up, even though it's going up her face. Her face definitely doesn't squinch.
I think this is it in terms of interview footage. So you want to take a look at pictures and then come back and make our guesses? Does that work for everyone?
Sure. Absolutely.
Cool.
I've been going back and
Pictures
forth.
seem to show the same thing. Like I don't have a different opinion after looking at the pictures.
There's a cunningness that I see in some pictures with her eyes.
Yeah, I'm definitely doing that.
And more subjective than you would see on an Nijai, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, the hoodedness.
And it's like you look at that and you're like if you think about the possibility of Nijai, and it's like, you know, could you really believe that image is of a Nijai, you know? And I just can't.
And you have to think too that she plays against Naiji male dancers a lot, and so she would have to develop that faux game of appearing Nijai-like too.
Although if you look at some pictures like this one, I mean, she's very like empowered in her and yang and directive seeming in her dancing even, because look at, for example, like this picture. So like some, you know, the traditional ballet, she may appear more demure, but she's quite like powerful in her dancing.
And if you look at some of her face pictures too, she's got, I think she really does have that aware mouth quality that she knows exactly where the camera is and exactly how she looks in the camera.
Yeah, it seems very deliberate. Very deliberate.
That rules out Nijai for me.
Okay, so I'm going to go around and ask for your what your reads are, or reader reads. Starglow, we'll start off with you. Where are you at?
Nijez, Naiji, definitely my first guess.
Okay. Mufamini, how about you?
Ditto. Exactly the same.
Sorry, I skipped you, Glenn.
Oh.
Glenn?
Yeah, I think I'm saying Naiji, and then my second guess would have to be Nijai.
Yeah.
And then maybe third would be Vijay.
Yeah. You know what? I'll add that my third would be Jinai as a third, but basically Naiji then Nijai.
All right. How about you, Ben?
I think she's a Subram Nijez, aka Naiji.
No.
Good one, Ben.
Where are you at?
I'll go with Naiji. I guess I'll throw Nijai in there as the second guess.
Naiji.
I'll go with Naiji on her.
She's Naiji.
Yes.
Yes.
We got stood up with the Celine Dion. That's what I got right away with Celine Dion.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good riff. Yes, that's very. Yeah, that's
Definitely has that
that's
look.
spot on.
Very
Yeah.
very elegant but fierce, and he knows.
Yeah. Wow.
So if there are no further questions, we'll call it for tonight. But that was a great session. Alrighty. The plan will be, I'm not sure who it is. It'll be Bruno or someone else, but it'll be someone for next time that's not here on the on-air team. I think at least one, maybe another person before we circle back around again for the team to do its suggestion.
Awesome.
Okay, I will see you all throughout the week, and Jez, it'll be tomorrow. Okay, have a great night.
Good night, everyone.
Tonight, Naked and Afraid XL.
Yeah, tonight? Okay. Awesome. Good night.